Well, hello, 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 hello there. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Hone Your Brilliance. In this episode, we're talking about rising with support and talking about your next aligned step for 2026. I know you're ready to tune in for this Hone Your Brilliance episode. I am Robin Queen. I am the Queen Educator, and I am here to guide you, support you, and encourage you into your next best level. And guess what? That's 2026. That's tomorrow, right? Like tomorrow, right before 2026, but like we're pretty much here. We have like a couple more days. We're here. We're already into it. So we might as well make sure we walk into our next season and step into it confidently and really allowing God to continue that very work that He started in us from the very day before we got distracted, before we became so-called burnt out, all the things we've been talking about. So we are in session 4. Can you guys believe that we are here in session 4? And I want to welcome you to Hone Your Brilliance, Educator Rise, the Educator Activation Experience with your girl, Robin, the Queen Educator. Remember, this series is for those educators who know they are called to more. Whether you're in the classroom, transitioning, or building your next chapter, whether you're in the traditional classroom, you know how I do, outside of the traditional classroom, like in the community, or even in the home. And we're here to help you rediscover your purpose, reclaim your voice, and rise into brilliance as we prepare for 2026. When I say we, I'm talking about myself and the whole organization that I have built as an educator called Everybody Educate, which I am the CEO and founder of. And I am so excited that that we close this year with so much wisdom, knowledge, and insight that we've gained across our experience, our activation times, and we just did things we didn't even know why we were doing it, but God was setting us up, right? I want you all in this session though to understand that you cannot go it alone. You can try, and I have tried, and I do some things alone, but the vision that the people that I'm talking to you. If you are called for more, I'm not just talking about ordinary comfort zone. We talked about that last week. I am talking about you who God keeps giving and downloading so many amazing visions. And so I do have up on the screen for you where we've been, and we'll do a quick little recap in a presentation today to just really walk you through. So if you've missed session 1, 2, and 3, you already can go back to session 2 and 3 on YouTube. And then session 1, we had some audio things. So that's just available in the audio version. And you can hit me up if you'd like to get more of that. And we will gladly give you the audio version of that. All right. So I wanted to share my screen with that. Let you all know that you made it. You did it. If you've watched all 4 of these episodes, then you literally are in a mindset alignment to move with confidence. I already know. I already know. So if you missed a couple and you're like, oh, I got this, I got that, I need you to get the complete package. I need you to stick with us from week to week because when God is speaking through us as educators who He's called us to teach, He's called us to move, He's called us to move things, change things. He's called us to have our unique voices and move into the next so that others can move into their next. And that's why it's so important that we are teaching and understanding what that means and leading and understanding how to teach as we lead, right? And that we are in the home and we are raising up young people and people all around us who just need more examples of what it means to be a brilliant educator, and that is you. And so you are positioned. I know sometimes it feels hard. Sometimes it feels like you don't have anybody to comfort you or bring or give you hope. But this is what this channel is for. And I'm hoping that you will tune in the rest of today. And then I have some surprises for you because we'll have some things coming on next year. So I'm excited about that for you and for all of us. All right, so as I stop sharing my screen, I'm going to share another portion because I want you to know, I want to ask you this question really. And I want to know, have you been holding God hostage? Because if you really want to hone the brilliance, all of that of who you are and who you, your makeup and all that, and you're feeling stuck and you just don't realize that you can step out of the stuck and stop holding God hostage. He is your creator. He is the one who made you. He's given you the insight, knowledge, and wisdom that nobody else can give you. This year, I have to tell you guys this. I've been on a detox. I didn't know I was going on a detox. I mean, fasting and praying is a part of my habits, honey. But I didn't know that I would be going on a for real, true detox. So I had to stop. Y'all know how I do it. Breathe and let some stuff out, out of me that I have chosen not to return. And I needed a lot of support doing that. And the support and having support is not bad. I think that sometimes as teachers and leaders and educators, we think that, oh my gosh, I can't be the one having support. I have to know it all. I have to give all the support. But that is not how we were built, and that is a misconception. And I want us to get rid of that before we step into the next year. And if you're listening to this and it is next year, and you're like, oh, I'm just saying this, Queen. Oh my goodness. Well, I need you to step on out of it as quickly as you can. This is your year. This is your year of detox, right? So there's a lot of things that happened that were strange for you, and you were thinking about, man, there's a lot of shifts and changing that are happening in my mind, in my body, in my soul, in my family, in my workplace, and all the things. And it's uncomfortable, as we talked about last week. But I I got to get rid of the uncomfortability, and I have to step into the next. I know that, but why does it seem like every time I take a step, I pull myself back, or I allow a situation to pull myself back? And I discovered for me, it's because I think I was holding God hostage to the things, the expectations, that I had for Him, for my life, for certain times in my life. Have you ever felt like that? As a teacher, as a leader, as a caregiver, and a supporter of so many, I I really have felt that I was like doing all the things I needed to do, and I would get all the results I thought I would get. And sometimes it just doesn't happen that way. And I would get mad at myself, get frustrated because I'm trying to figure out, well, what am I missing here? What's happening? Why are things not lining up? Why is the alignment that I thought that I intentionally lined up to God's will, why is it not working for me? And I realized that I was putting limitations and holds and bars on what God can do through me. I was doing a lot of stuff saying it was through him, and not to say that it wasn't, but it was very structured. And we have to be careful as educators because we like order. We like to make sure things are right, that we are planned. As leaders, we like to make sure that we are thinking 5 million years ahead of anybody else so that we can cover all of our bases. As caregivers, we like to make sure that we have everything that is needed so that we don't get stuck later. And that is powerful. That is why you are here. That's why you are listening to this. But what might be stumping you, right, from rising up to where you know you should be because you have been strategic? This is not for the faint of heart. This is not for someone like, I don't know. I just want to see what she. I don't want you to even listen to this unless you have it in you to be a brilliant educator and hone the brilliance that God has in you. That means that you're going beyond and above what people tell you. You are literally digging into your very makeup, and you are pulling your skills and abilities and saying, okay, God, use me regardless of what happens, because I am a leader. I am an educator, and I want to hone the brilliance inside of me in a very unique and beautiful way. I keep saying that because I don't want to attract the wrong people. I want the people who are ready for more. I want the people who are like, Lord, I've been doing the things, but what's happening? How do I rise? I've been called. I know that I've been working to be aligned with my purpose and goals and doing things strategically and flexibly. But It's not right. The cake is not rising, honey. I've been putting all the ingredients in there, but it's not rising. What's happening? And so I think what I came to was that there were some holes, right? So in the batch, in the batter, right? I do love to bake, and I'm not like a huge baker all the time, but I like want to make sure when that cake goes in that oven, things are baking and things are rising. And so today, as we're talking about how we can rise up, we've got to figure out what didn't we stir up? And sometimes you think like, but I've been stirring. There needs to be support for us. We have to utilize our resources. As my nephew said, I want to be resourceful because there's some areas I just can't hit. That's the truth, right? There are some areas like I can stir and stir and stir, but there's a lot of flour in this mix. I'm making a lot of batter for a lot of people a lot of the times. I like that analogy, don't you guys? That's the teacher in me, honey. Okay. So, and sometimes you might miss, there might be some holes, but there are some holes that only God can stretch you with the right people. So you have to really be in tune and say like, am I in the right community? Do I have the right coaches? Do I have the right people around me? I love my family. I love my friends, but sometimes all of them don't need to be around me when I am doing all of my shaking and my moving and doing all the things because I can get distracted and I can quickly turn away and I'm on on somebody else's trajectory and I'm leaving my pathway. And when you leave your pathway, you're leaving holes, right? And so I'm moving away. I was just stirring this up. I come back to my path and I forget where I'm stirring. And so I want you all to understand in order to hone your brilliance in a way that helps you to actually rise, which is our last and final one. You've got to pause and understand your surroundings. If in your surroundings there are coaches and people along the way that are pushing you forward to focus, that are pushing you forward to things and resources that you did not even know were possible so that you're not always whipping that what that batter, but you now have a tool that's like and you don't have to do too much, you're not missing a lot. You know what I'm saying? You're like, okay, all right, okay, I can ease up on this part and I can come over here, get this icing to get, all those different things. And so many times we're holding God hostage, and I want us to talk a little bit about that today, how that might happen if we are living out our God-given gifts and talents and our what hmm, our call for the season we talked a little bit about before, then what is it that is stopping us from rising? What is it? Because now one of the things I shared with my niece is that to much is given, much is required. And so now you have higher stakes. Now you have more people who are like, wow, yes, I am your audience. Yes, I do want the cake that you are making. I want it, I want it, I want it. I do. I do. And now you're in that place and it can be very difficult at times to sit in a space where now you're moving and elevating to the next level. And you start to get in your feelings. You start to, has this been you? Have you done this? You start to be like, oh, it was cool when I had a smaller group of people that I was teaching. It was cool when the classroom was smaller. It was cool whenever it was people I knew and they were in my corner. But now it's a little scary because wow, there's a lot more that's required of me. And that is not the problem anymore. You still need to be who you are. You still need to understand that God is with you, but you've got to make sure you have the right coaches, the right people around you to help you get to the next level. And you have to stay grounded. The right people will help you stay grounded so that you're not putting on performances and shows. You ever see people who you knew and it could be all of us. I think we all do it, and I've done it, right? Where it's like, okay, you're just doing. I used to do something called Courage Ministries back in the day. I would just get on live and just talk to the teachers and say, hi teachers, how are you? I just want to pray with you today. I would walk around the school and pray and do all the things and was cool. I wasn't making a big fuss. And then it wasn't until like people were like, well, hey, I need some more support, or how do you sustain yourself? And they're asking all these questions. And I'm thinking I have to have all of these answers, big presentations, big PowerPoints. Let's do it big, you know? Until I realized I was like, that's it doesn't always take all that. Sometimes that's fine, right? If you have the time to do it, you have the people to do it, you're right. But you've got to stay grounded. Okay, so I went off on a little tangent, but I wanted to talk to you guys about rising up to the next level and understanding what that really means. So this session that we're in right now, it really does help you choose your next aligned steps for 2026 without pressure. I want you to understand that activation is powerful, but support is what makes it sustainable. Activation is powerful. We talked about that in the last session, but support is what makes it sustainable. The missing key that many people don't realize is that you can do all the things and you can activate, be the best at it, but if you don't have the right support, you will quickly lose sight. And sustainability becomes a thing of, you know, I thought I was going in that direction versus, you know what? No, I'm going to make sure, and I'm going to have support around me to make sure that that does happen. So before I go into that a little bit more, let me just share my screen with you and show you just a recap of where we've been so that you can tie this all together and we can tie this all together. Now, if you understand that's your call. We talked about that. I keep saying it, and I'm going to say it over and over because I think for me, it was sometimes it was like that mentality of they call it something and it's escaping me right now, but the mentality of oh my gosh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Excuse me. The mentality that like, oh yeah, it's like that false humility, like, oh well. Okay, I'm not even gonna get into all of that right now. Let me just share a screen. Give me a second. All right, so it's that, and I'm so mad at myself right now because I'm like it's literally on the tip of my tongue where you pretend to um man, that's all right. Maybe I shouldn't even go there. It's not meant to say right now. All right, so here you go. You guys see my screen up here, I hope. Like, look on YouTube and make sure that it is coming up for you. All right, cool. All right. So it's that mentality like I can't do it. No, not me. Oh, not me. Oh, you know you have the skills and you know you have the ability. You know that you can do all the things, but you're not doing it. So it's escaping me right now and it's okay. But I want you to remember that your purpose is solid. It is solid. Why? Because we actually, when we are in alignment with God's purpose, it then becomes our purpose. His purpose is literally our purpose. What he has designed and built us for is our purpose. And so it is an insult. He told me this. God said to me, it is an insult to me, Queen, whenever you decide that you're going to shy away or fall back or put on this false reality of, oh, I don't know. And you know, whenever you say that you believe that I've called you for such a time as this. And if you believe that, then I do all things well. I'm perfect in all things. And if you have said yes to me, I've called you. So your purpose, when you're rediscovering your purpose, you're actually uncovering the purpose of God and making sure that it is connected to your unique identity. And then your voice then becomes confident because then it's not about you. It's bigger than you, but you are there and you are being used as a vessel. And that is difficult at times for many educators. So when you are reclaiming your voice, you have to remember it's not about what people think about you, what they're telling you to do, how they're telling you to do it, how they're evaluating you. Where that is helpful, that's what we're talking about today. Is it the right help? Does it align with now that purpose, now the voice that you have? And then you can get to go and rising into your brilliance. All right. I want you to remember this. Go ahead and take a look at the screen. We talked about being burnt out, but again, it's a misalignment. I want you all to get in step. Get in step. Get aligned. I keep on trying to let you all know, activate, don't perform. Don't just perform. I am the biggest performer. I love to perform all the things. So we talked a little bit about that. And the other portion that makes me so upset is when people make you feel like you have to be perfect, or when you make yourself feel like you have to be perfect. It's not about perfection as much as it's about excellence. It's about excellence. So when you're doing things in excellence, you're perfecting your particular gifts. So that is a reminder. Get into alignment with who you are and how you are serving. How you serve is very unique to your gift. So that means you do not have to ever compare yourself. So we talked a little bit about that. We also talked about awakening and reclaiming and activating so that you can let what we're saying today rise. All right. And so this is just a quick reminder. Look at these steps. Like I think this is so powerful, this AI generated picture. I mean, honestly, sometimes you'll look up and you're like, I'm not walking up all those steps. How do you expect to rise if you can't awaken and see that you're not carrying yourself up there by yourself any old way, right? Like you're not alone. You have everything you need inside of you. Reclaim that voice, reclaim those gifts and skills and abilities. Start to move, and as you activate and move and rise along the way, you are being carried and pushed and supported for the journey ahead. It's not a quick fix. I know we want to get the plane and we want to just fly up to the top, but that's not the principles of the matter will not happen. It will be a quick fix and it will not be sustainable. Now, I like to fly, okay? But in this time and in this journey, let's rise. Let's look at each set of these principles of each of these stairs. What did we learn about ourselves? What did we learn about how we help others? And what did we learn that sometimes when we're in activation mode, we can activate and do some things, but we may not make it all the way up to the top. So the first Sunday that we came together, we were thinking about these things here. And I want you to remember what is no longer aligned with who you're becoming. I asked you that question. If you missed it before, here's a recap. What is no longer aligned with who you are becoming? You're not failing. You're not a failure. But some things may have failed. And you're like, why? We talked about that earlier. And it does try to burn you out. Like, man, I tried, I did something. But that is the trap right there that gets you stuck. When you stay in the mindset of I'm burnt out, you keep speaking that over yourself, you probably will be. Why don't you're recurring over, replaying? Like there's a difference between replaying over and over and over things that happen and reflecting and getting better and understanding how to align. And that does drain you. That does really drain you, right? And then we talked a little bit about that discomfort can be an invitation for you all to understand that your purpose is far greater than what you think. Being discomfort is okay. Being in discomfort is okay as you are rising. When you get to the third set of those that staircase of your rise, it's uncomfortable. The first set, you might be like, oh, okay, I did that. You start to realize, okay, I have some stamina. I could work a little bit. But then you get up to the third one and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to go back. But why go back when you can just keep going forward? All right, guys. So then the next time we talked about your voice. And so I talked a little bit about this identity. Your identity is not just a role. And that was such a powerful moment. And I want you to remember, where have you been quiet when you were called to speak? Where have you been quiet when you were called to speak? And you're sitting in a role or a title and you're thinking, well, that's not my title, that's not my role. But whenever it's time for you to elevate and you see an issue, you see a problem, you see something that needs to be shifted and changed, it might be God shifting you and saying, hey, it's time for you to speak out about this. Go to the next level. You be the change that you want to see. Now, oftentimes we sit in spaces and we talk about what's happening wrong. We start shrinking. We start shrinking down just to survive. I'm not going to say nothing. They used to say to me, they used to be like, Queen, like, just be quiet, stay along to get along. But if God is calling you to be a leader and a teacher, and there's a way that you can speak up without making people, feel like they are nothing. And without being a part of a system that steps on people and treats them any type of way. No, you can speak up and say, hey, things have to change. And here are some strategies and ways, right? You don't need to shrink and you don't have to worry about like, oh, well, I'm just no, you are just who you are called to be. And it is not in just in your role or your title. It is in your daily life. It is in your conversations. Your voice is a part of your assignment. And then last week, when we're activating that brilliance, we talked a lot about that peace, right? Peace is so important to me. And being uncomfortable doesn't always feel like peace, but it is actually peace that surpasses your own understanding because you are actually becoming aware of a new level, a new something that you have to step out of and step into as that leader, as that teacher, as that caregiver, and understand that you are responsible. You are responsible. And I love how Stephen Covey puts it in his book, um, Seven Highly Effective People, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which is so powerful, even in this time, in this day. Excuse me. He says that responsibility that is your response to your ability. And I want to talk to you a little bit more about that um, later. But I really think that having your response makes all the difference. Your response to activate based on the abilities that you have or the abilities that have been placed in you that may not be in others. You might be expecting someone else to respond when you're the person that's supposed to respond. And how you respond really will set the atmosphere in your space and where you are and where you are called to lead. So the decision I am making for my next level is what? Is your decision to stay in comfort? Say that's just the way things are. This is where we are. Stay quiet, delay, right? Delay and say, oh, maybe next year. Oh, maybe next month. No, we need to start today. We have to respond today to that unction that we get inside of us as brilliant educators to make change right where we are and then some. But, and this is a big but right now. Because a lot of people are activating and doing a lot of things. As a matter of fact, it's super duper amazing. All of the wonderful things that I've been observing that people are activating here, left, right, up, down, business, church, ministry, classrooms, schools, like the things that they're putting up on Instagram and social medias and all the things that are up now. I'm like, wow, people are really showing their gifts. They're getting into a great space of like, I'm going to do this. But a lot of them are not sustainable. They're not sustainable, or they're a facade, or it's a performance. It's not sustainable because sometimes people are not in connection with the times. And so when we are rising, up on those steps, and I just love that picture. I should just put it on every slide here. When we are rising, we have to discern our movement, our pace, our rhythm, and understand that all wisdom is not sound wisdom. All support is not aligned support. And all rhythm is not rhythm that is connected to what we see and think. Rather, it is an authentic move where we are constantly focused in on what is to be for now. So let's tie that all together with activation, okay? When you are activating all the things we talked about earlier. So let's go back. Let's go back. Come on. When we are, oh, so sorry, here we go. When we are activating our understanding and awareness of who we are and what we've been called to do as leaders, educators, and caregivers, in and out of the school and in the home and the community, when we are reclaiming, we're activating all of the gifts, all the things that we have learned through the years, and we are ready to rise. We've got to understand that. Hold on, here it goes. Let's go back. If we are not in step, we will trip and we will fall. Listen, this is something this is so crazy to me. I was wondering about how people sit and let's stop this real quick. How people run backwards on the treadmill. I was like, what is this? I'm gonna fall and bust my face. Like, what is happening? And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try this. So I went to the gym this week, well, last week, and I'm like, I'm gonna try it. But I have to be very, very strategic because I'm ready. I'm ready to go to the next level. So I had my treadmill up to I think I was like 7.0. I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm moving. Let's go. Come on. 26, 2026. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Feel the burn. Let's go. So I'm getting up there and I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving. And wisdom said, now, Robin, Queenie, if you turn around and you're at 7.0, you've been like on the speed of like between 3.5 and 4.5 or 5 or something like that. Do you think it's wise if you've never ever ran backwards on the treadmill to do that? So no, pause, take your time. No, let's make a connection to this. What do you think is the most important thing to start to think about first or to do first? First of all, I'm not jumping right into it. I've already activated in my mindset that I'm going to do this. So once you get the activation in your mindset, then all of these portals of like opportunities start opening to you. Like, okay, well, maybe if I turn this down and oh, and maybe I can, and I have this thing right here. So I can push this up and I can push this down, and just kind of play with that. Once you do that, then you start to discern like, is this the best thing? There's nobody around me here, and if I fall, who's coming to pick me up and who's helping me up? So let's take this easy. Let's go, and then let's do this in rhythm. Like let's do it in a rhythm that makes sense, a rhythm that you're comfortable with first, right? Because you want to sustain this and you want to try this again and again. Which I don't know that I want to try that again and again, but I do want to rise again and again. Well, what I learned was first of all, I didn't have support around me. I didn't have a coach. So that was pretty dumb that I was doing that because a coach probably would have already known how to do that, said, hey, let's work you up to that, all of that, right? My rhythm was I need to walk 1.1. I went all the way down to 1, but I said I'm gonna keep it at 7 of I'm gonna keep it up here, but I'm gonna go all the way my speed to 1. And I'm gonna jump to the side, and it was tough trying to do this on my own. But I was determined. Jumped to the side, like had my feet on the side that wasn't moving of the belt, and then take it down to 1, all that, and I'm moving, I'm moving, I'm moving. So as I'm doing this, I'm sitting here, I'm thinking to myself, if you turn around and you've been working all this time on this treadmill to go forward, and now all of a sudden you want to turn around to go backwards, okay, are you there yet? Meh, maybe not. But one thing you have to understand when you turn around, you do have some support in the back. You can kind of lean on the thing there, but you're more likely to roll down backwards where you started at the ground zero. And now you gotta get yourself together, try to pull yourself back up. You know, been up 7 levels, went 7 steps up, 7 steps up, 7 staircases up, and now you want to turn around and just try something real quick. You can activate something different. So the point that I hope that you all are getting is that if you want to rise well without falling, that you've got to use discernment. You've got to use wisdom. You've got to get in rhythm. And once you get in that rhythm, turning around to go all the way back down, lowering your speed. Now you're slowing down everything. You have to shift all these different things to try to do this. And not to say that you can't do that at some point, but I want you all to think about how sustainability is going to help you to ensure that you lock in your brilliance and the brilliance that God is leading you towards. So, discernment, wisdom, rhythm, and support. I turned around and I said, I'll do this one more time. I did it one more time. I said, just to prove to myself that I can pause, think, and do all this. But honestly, by the time I had to do that, I had to turn back around, get myself back moving because I was already in a great pace. You don't want to go backwards. You can slow down a little bit at your pace, but turning around is a whole new ballgame. That is something that um, I think is important when we're talking about fitness, but fitness in our inner selves is where we need to be. So through this experience, you have reconnected with your purpose, I hope. Why are you? What is it? Where are you? What is God calling you to do? Not everybody else telling you to do. Hopefully you have reclaimed your voice and you've decided that, you know what? Mm, mm-hmm. Yep. It's my time and it's my season, not only for more, but to walk into the more strategically and on another level that is aligned with 2026. Now, 2026 is a no excuses, no limitation year for me. And actually it's that for educators, because educators have been and leaders and caregivers, they really have been, just I hate to say it like this, but it's true, trampled on for so long, not really given the full support and recognition needed because we're always moving, we're always on the go. And it's not that we need all that, but it's nice to be able to replenish and be able to move forward and be financially stable and be well and all the things. And we don't always get that. And we looked at some data on the first time, and I will share that data with you guys before we go if you missed session one, because I don't want us to fall into that trap for 2026. So start to prepare for 2026 intentionally. Okay. This is not about completing a whole plan. This is about getting into alignment in your mindset. So your mindset, when you make up your mind, I've got my mind made up. That's where I'm at. And I'm not turning back. I'm not turning back. I'm staying in alignment. And I want you all to hold me to that. And I want to hold you all to that. And you can literally have support without pressure, right? I want you all to understand that we will be on here in 2026 in a whole new way. And the new way is literally like, nope, we're not waiting, we're not playing, we're not waiting on approval from people or things. We are moving in alignment with what we already have set in the very work that God has started in us from the beginning, and we are moving forward. And we are not doubting, we're not being doubting Thomas. We are not holding back. We're not worried about the wrong things. Man, I sometimes I just say to myself, like, girl, you think about the wrong things. No, my mind is made up. And I won't turn back. All right, so let's show you these statistics and then just invite you to really become a part of what we call the Hone Your Brilliance community. And when you're a part of the Hone Your Brilliance community, what you realize is that you always have someone who has your back, a whole community of people who have your back. And I'd love for you all to just continue to rock with us. Every month, we will put out new content in 2026. Stay connected at Robin Queen. That's Robin with a Y. Yes, because I do have a purpose, honey. Yes, yes, yes. So please make sure that you stay in step with us, stay in tune with us. If you are someone that is on the same trajectory and you want to have an experience that is not just activated, but is sustainable and it is brilliantly aligned with who you are, were always meant to be, what you were meant to do, and how you were meant to do it in season. Let that stick. In season. All right, guys. So before we go, let me go ahead and show you this. And this will be something that will help you along the way. Always come back here. Also, you can come back to my pages. We're under reconstruction right now with all of our social medias and things like that, but we still are doing all the things that we've always done. And so I want you all to go ahead and check me out on, if you're an educator, you might want to check me out on everybodyeducate.com. But if you are someone who's just like, I want to see change happen, I want to hone my brilliance, you go to robinqueen.com. All right, guys. So I'm so excited. Thank you for sharing with me, staying with me, and rocking with me this whole time. If you know someone that can benefit from this and they missed some of these series this month, go right ahead and make sure that you share it with them at Robin Queen. And then go to robinqueen.com for updates all 2026. You will literally get your whole life, honey. And now it's time to, and as I always say, my sister is like, gets on me because she's like, I love this saying, I'm taking, but take your hands and go. If your hands are in the wrong pot, you need to go to another space. Take your, say, thank you. I appreciate you. Let's go. It's time to hone your brilliance, discover the God-given gifts that are inside of you, utilize your voice for what He's called you for, and rise into your brilliance. And I want you all to know that you are surrounded by fellow educators when you're in our camp, in our community. We understand the weight of your calling, the exhaustion, all of that. This is where transformation begins. We are transforming our old habits and ways. This is where your brilliance is awakened, okay? And so for the last and final thing, that don't forget, if you didn't already do it, what is that gift that has been given to you? No more shrinking, no more overthinking, no more hesitation. Name it with confidence and clarity. Do not let this day go by without you doing that. Okay? We know why we're here, and we know we're not taking this into 2026. We're not stuck. I declare and I decree right now, you are not stuck. I know you might feel stuck and trapped, but you are not stuck because now your mindset has been shifted after these 4 sessions, and you now recognize that you have unique contributions and that you can make a pathway forward in alignment to your calling and to the calling that God has given you. You might be exhausted. Make sure you rest, but it's time to get up and allow yourself to move in sync, right? We talked about alignment. Don't overlook your gifts. Don't overlook, even if you have been unseen and unheard and all that. We're not waiting on someone to find us and to see us because we've already been seen. We've already been approved, right? You are called to more. There's a bigger assignment here. We talked all about that. And if this is for people, and I know if you missed the first session, I'm giving a little bit of baby recap of why this is so important. So this. There are 92 people, 92% of people through a study that feel like they're living disconnected from their purpose. There are 70% of people that are feeling that they're unable to move forward. They're just stuck and they're accepting that comfort that we talked about, right? There are 8% of people that are actually walking in the fullness of what God designed. I don't want that number to be this small. This 8% needs to be like the 92%, right? It needs to be way higher. Okay. So I'm super excited that were able to stick on a little longer and understand the crisis, especially for educators who are leaving their school, they're leaving their home, they're done, they're losing their confidence, but it's going to take a few tweaks for us to get to the space we need to be. We don't have to be burnt out, leave, exit. We just need to exit the spaces that are draining us, that we know that we picked up along the way that weren't actually aligned. And then we get confidence and we actually will be able to be seen more with our voice out there in the right way, where we never have to compare, where we never have to prove or compete because we are unique. We won't walk into tragedy of using our gifts anymore in 2026. The brilliance that's waiting to be activated in you could change everything. So I want you all to know that we are here for you. You go right ahead, queen at robinqueen.com, and that's Robin with a Y, not an I. And you can send and share whatever you're feeling about the things that we talked about in these 4 weeks. If you want to talk about more about week 1, I want to know, what questions do you have? Week 2, week 3, and week 4. What questions do you have? How can we support you? When I say we, I'm talking about Everybody Educate. I'm talking about the Robin Queen brand and my team. How can we support you in 2026? Do not give up. You have support. Do not give up. Your purpose is sound. Okay. How can we support you with rediscovering your purpose? Do you need someone to speak to and talk to? Right? Are you in uncomfortable place? Are you in comfort places? You know you're uncomfortable, but you're comfortable because it's easy, but you know the easy is actually causing you lots of frustration, and you really want to reclaim your voice in the best way possible. We can help you to do that. Let me know what you need. Do you need that? That's from session 2. Do you feel like you don't have a voice and you're like, man, how do I even just figure out what that is, right? I have a call, but my voice doesn't, I don't know. Where do I begin? Like that's I've been there. I've been there. If you want to have that, you want to respond to your ability, like responsibility, that decision to activate your brilliance, but you're not sure how to respond, right? You're called to more, you know it, but how do I transition? How do I shift? How do I go to the next level? And finally, the last 2 sessions, making sure that you have made the actual decision. You're not living in indecision. I've lived there for too many years, for too much time. And now I'm clear. And my breakthrough is clear. I've literally went back to the beginning and said, wait a minute. Let me close. I told you all, let me detox. I had to detox all year long from people's voices, everything, all the stuff. Just the things that I put inside of me, like, oh, okay, I need to do this, try to bring anxiety. No, no, no. And we have a formula that actually helps you do this quicker than normal. And that formula is the ready, set, activate formula. And I love that you all are becoming mindset ready, skill set ready, and activation implementation ready in your mindsets. And you need support to help you rise up those steps, because you will get tired. To much is given, much is required. There is a way made for you to go to the top. There are things at the end of your journey for this next season that you will accomplish, but it will take support for you to move to the next level. So I do have a special gift for you all, as I promised. Again, if you are interested, queen@robinqueen.com. Email us and say, I'm ready. I'm ready. And you will have your special gifts. I'm ready. Thank you so much for joining us for all 4 of these series. I'm so blessed by all of you who have watched it with us live, all of you who have watched it on the replay, and know that this is just the tip. This is just a piece of it. We haven't even reached the peak of the Hone Your Brilliance series for 2026 that's coming. It's just so powerful. So many lives, so many more lives are changed. Your life can be changed. You don't want more of the same. Stay in touch with us. Stay in tune with us. Continue to walk and not stop. You will get to the top of the mountain that God has called you with. God called you to. I hope this has been a blessing. Let me know if there's anything that resonated with you. Let me know if there's anything that you would like to see changed or talked about, any topics to actually really help you to go to your brilliance, anything specific that you want to talk on and to connect on, and we will make sure that that happens for you. Queen, Queen, at robinqueen.com, ROBYNQUEEN.com. Go ahead and email us, and we will get back to you. God bless you. Bye. Happy New Year.